welcome back to another episode of E&Ftv, and I know that there's been a lot of people that have been looking forward to this episode with my good friend Catt, because she was of course nominated by Christina. Again, thank you so much to Christina, right Catt?
Thank you, Christina.
So guys, as you know, this is our sort of next episode or next installment of the Edwards and Finn Hot Wings Challenge, where we bring industry leaders on board. We ask them 7 questions, and as you know already, it gets hotter with every question. What we need to do first off, Catt, is a bit of housekeeping. So, have you got your milk?
I have my milk.
Good. Have you got your water? Beautiful. Napkins. Because for goodness sake, do not touch your eyes. As people know from watching previous episodes, I did touch my eyes once and it was a really, really tall price to pay. Catt's also got some yogurt, which I may also partake in if needed. We have got a new range of sauces that we're using on this episode. These, unfortunately, Catt, are hotter than we've ever used before. So good luck. And that also goes for myself. So I suppose without further ado, let's kick things off. But just before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying really hard to grow the channel at the moment, and that comes with your support. So please do like and subscribe. And of course, give Catt some encouragement at the bottom of the video in the comments below, because I know that she's going to need it after this. Right, Catt. So as you already know, we've discussed this previously, right? You've got 7 questions, 7 wings, and we're getting hotter every time. Okay, first question is nice and easy, but before we get into it, it's time for the wing. So on this one, for anybody watching, it is red hot buffalo. A lot of people will know this one. It's not massively hot, but it gives you a bit of a hum to start with, and then we'll get into the question. I've got to say,
Why am I doing this?
this is pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's nice.
I'm even licking my fingers here, guys. Before I get into the question as well, you'll also notice again that I'm not in my living room. We're actually here at Sloane Place, and the kitchen here have been so kind to cook these wings for us. So a big shout out to Sloane Place's kitchen, because they've put up with us and put us in this lovely environment. So, Catt, tell us a bit about HotelREZ. What is HotelREZ, and what is your role within HotelREZ?
That was quite nice, wasn't it?
I know, right? I was licking my fingers too. Trust me, you're not going on the ones ahead.
Oh, God. So, HotelREZ is a full-service global representation company.
Sure.
So what that means is that we provide distribution, so all of the channels, GDS, online travel agents, booking engine, to accommodation providers. And we represent a very broad range of properties, from amazing pubs with rooms, pubs and inns, to serviced accommodation providers and apart hotels, and of course full service 3, 4 and 5-star properties.
Okay.
So GDS, online travel agents, booking engine for all the accommodation providers.
Amazing. And for anybody that doesn't know who you are, and I will be massively amazed if anyone doesn't know who you are that's watching this today, what's your role within HotelREZ?
So I lead strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
And that's a business development function, so signing up new hotels to the portfolio.
Sure.
And also working with resellers, private label groups, and I have a little tickle and I'm going to pick up a... I think
it started already, everybody. It started already.
And technology suppliers, so looking at the property management systems, the channel managers, the upselling partners like Oki, to work on behalf of our hotels to have those partnerships to drive more reservations to the hotels.
Perfect. Great. Okay. So now we're moving on to this incredibly sinister black sauce, which looks to be from Mexico, chili habanero. We'll take the wing first, and then we'll get into the questions. So I've got this unusually massive wing on my next go. What is this doing on my plate?
This is the goth sauce, isn't it?
Okay, it's not that bad, but you can tell it's going to creep. Okay, so Catt, I'll let you finish first. Of course, the hospitality industry. We both know that we love it, but what is it about the hospitality industry that you love so much?
The food,
Really?
the people,
Yeah,
the fact that it can take you anywhere in the world.
sure.
Yeah, those three things. It's,
Yeah.
I think it's the broadest industry in terms of opportunity, because a hotel is like a village. A big hotel is like a village.
Yeah.
And there's every role from accounting to front of house
It's hot.
to it's a little, it's building in its
Yeah,
in its intensity. So yeah, just the variety,
sure.
and it's global.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
truly
yeah.
global.
It's something that I was actually having a chat with our good friend Susie about, and the thing that I've become so focused and fixated on is, in her words anyway, that tribe.
Yes.
They've been, they just the acceptance and the support network that you can create in hospitality, I've never seen in any other industry I've worked in.
It's quite a privilege to be able to bring your authentic self into
Absolutely.
work.
Absolutely.
And that's from everything, from all of the things that happen in life
Yeah.
to our outside of work hobbies.
Yeah.
It's great that we're more open-minded now as an industry, that there
Yeah.
is more acceptance of everything from ladies having babies to tattoos and piercings.
Yeah.
You know, the industry has become much more open and accessible.
No, absolutely. And again, I've never experienced what I have within hospitality in any other industry. So I'm on the same page as you, absolutely. Now, something that I know that you're really passionate about, so we're going to get onto the question in just a second.
Well, I started
First
thinking already.
off,
I'm intrigued by this one.
yeah, so we are looking at the Amarillo pepper sauce. It actually smells quite good, guys. So this one doesn't actually worry me too much. I imagine the spice might kick me in the face in a second, but I really like that. Yeah, it's hot though.
I can feel it on my
Yeah.
lips.
Yeah, absolutely.
The flavour's really...
The
I thought
flavours
I'd
why
like
did I
that.
lick my lip? Why did I lick my finger? Why did I lick my finger? Okay, so something that I know you are a massive lover of is reading. You love books, right? I don't know if a lot of people do know that about you, but I know when we've spoken in the past, books do come up with you quite a bit, and it's something that you're passionate about. I'm really trying my hardest to get this question out. What would you say are your top 5 books? And for anybody that's watching this today, what are you reading at the moment? Yeah. Just for anybody.
So we're all going to be double dipping now in this yogurt.
Potentially. I'll stay on this side, you stay on that side.
Perfect.
For anybody that ever thinks that this is not real or the sauces are not that hot, trust me when I say the sauces are that hot, because I'm already sweating down my forehead and my lips are very much tingling.
My nose has started to run.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead,
Go on.
Kat. Let me know what. So your top 5 books and what you're currently reading at the moment.
So I cheated a bit and wrote down my top 5 because I was
Go ahead.
expecting to be sort of sweating a lot
Yeah,
more
yeah.
at this stage. So top 5 books. My favourite at the moment is dual between Unreasonable Hospitality by
Yeah.
Will Goodyear. David O'Connor posted about it on LinkedIn.
Sure.
Bought it, loved it, bought it for lots of friends.
I've already popped it in my phone. So yeah, I'm going to get
It's
it.
a
Yeah.
fantastic book. Will It Make the Boat Go Faster by Ben Hunt Davis
Okay.
and Harriet Beveridge. And that's just, every time I read that, I just learn a little something new.
Yeah.
Hotel by Arthur Haley, it's the must-read book for anybody in the hotel industry.
Sure.
It's of its time in
Yeah.
terms of its kind of 60s and 70s, but I think there's an awful lot in it that a lot of people will identify with from working in hotels.
Yeah.
And one of the loveliest things is you never know who that person is who's going to walk through the door.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's true.
even when they've walked through the door, you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Setting the Table, Danny Meyer. I've only just
Right.
started reading that. So one of the books I'm reading at the moment is Setting the Table by Danny Meyer.
Right.
And the book that I return to, and it's a bit nerdy, but it's The Elements of Eloquence by Mark Forsyth.
Right.
And as we were founding the new company that we're founding at the moment,
yes,
really slipped up there and mentioned it. But as we were founding the company, and I was really thinking about what the brand means and what we wanted to deliver as a new company, I found so much inspiration in this book.
Yeah.
So those are my kind of top 5, and Ursula Le Guin, The Dispossessed, is my kind of, if I had to pick one favourite book.
Right, so that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have the Bible and Shakespeare, of course, as well, but yeah,
That's
Dispossessed.
And currently reading, I know you may have mentioned just a moment ago, but I know that you read multiple books at the same time. So what are you currently reading at the moment?
Gosh, so A New World Begins, which is all about the French Revolution, which is absolutely fascinating. And it's very interesting in the way it looks at the diversity of people who were involved in the revolution, and where it did and didn't succeed, where they had aspirations, which actually, as the revolution progressed, they found themselves rolling back on votes for women, rolling back on their inclusivity elements. So that's really, really interesting at the moment. Just started Danny Meyer's Setting the Table, again another LinkedIn book club, George Titlow from Right Revenue recommended that. Those are the 2 books.
I do love George.
Hospitality
Shout
Book Club.
out to George.
Hashtag Hospitality Book Club.
So my eyes are starting to water. I'm definitely sweating from my forehead. Time to move on to the next source. So before we ask the question, we are looking at, you know, it's always fun, people, when the simple label says XXX Truffle. That is literally what it's called. So there we go. This one, right, from Catt's reaction, I think we know exactly how hot this thing's going to be.
Must not lick my fingers. Oh. Lulled into a false sense of security by those first 3. Shall I have a bit?
For complete transparency, I tried all of these prior to doing this, and I said to Catt that from here onwards, it really is tough, and it it really is tough. I'm not going to lick my fingers. Catt, something that you are incredibly passionate about, and something that I learned actually about you when I went to the races, the boat races, Henley, and you have a love of rowing, right? Where did this love of rowing come from? Why do you have this love of rowing? And also, how do you see, I suppose, that rowing mindset step into your career? Because I know that you use analogies to rowing a lot of the time, and it really does correlate quite nicely. I can't believe I was able to say correlate with the way my mouth is feeling right now.
It's really gets in the back of the throat, doesn't it?
So, can you tell us a bit about your love of rowing, how it came about, and how it translates into your work life?
So, rowing and I know. Starting to make my eyes water.
Yeah.
So rowing and hospitality in my life have been 2 kind of overlapping circles.
Yeah.
I worked in pubs from the age of 15, glass collecting and babysitting for the landlord and landlady. And I remember, somebody walked into the pub and said, "You do know that little Catt's only 16, don't you?" And the landlady said, "Actually, she's 15, and I know that you're 16, so hold your tongue." And I worked in for Firkins, and then I worked for Allied Domecq and lots of pub companies. I worked my way through university serving beer in Twickenham on rugby days. And one evening, I'm chucking a load of people out from the pub, and they said, "Oh, you're short and bossy. What are you doing tomorrow morning?" "Sleeping." "This is Mary Ann. She'll pick you up at 6:30. Come down and be a coxswain."
Right.
And the rest is history. I got my first job at a company called UTEL through rowing, being at an event, and a call came out through the tannoy saying, is anybody available to cox the race for Kingston Rowing Club, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I said yes. Partly I think I'd learned that from hospitality,
Sure.
to find a way of saying yes and take those opportunities. And there was a recruitment consultant in the boat.
Oh, no
We
way.
had a chat, he gave me his business card, I started temping before Christmas, and then I got a permanent job on covering some maternity leave in the January, and that was 21 years ago, and that was
Wow.
within UTEL, within GDS.
So if anything, rowing opened the door.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing. And I see that now with the young people that are coming through the boat club, because
Yes.
one of our friends, you know, I don't think he would have ever gone to university if it hadn't have been for the support that he received from the older members of the boat club. And by older, I mean only guys in their 30s.
Sure.
But he's, you know, he's progressed now through university, and really, you know, supporting each other to do that. It's an amazing tribe as well.
Oh, there you go. And I suppose with that rowing, there comes challenge, there comes struggle, but it's all down to the team, right? It's all about you guys coming together, the coxswain being, if you like, the lead, but everybody working together in the same motion to drive forward, right? There's so many correlations from that to careers.
The 100%. And what I didn't realise at the time is that it really drew out and perhaps taught the resilience. One of my rowers, we were putting the boat on the water before a race, and she dislocated her thumb. Now, we didn't know this until we were taking the boat off the water after the race, and I looked at her and said, "Jo," I said, "Oh yeah," when I was putting, and she dislocated her thumb when she was putting the boat on the water.
Oh,
you know,
no. So she did the whole race with a dislocated thumb.
And other, you know, another lady, Roz, has gone on to row the Atlantic, and Debbie Veal, and various rowers have, by their example, really taught me that kind of resilience. So that's one of the biggest things. The other is the teamwork and everybody having their role within the boat.
Sure.
But it's the ultimate team sport. But you don't have to love each other.
Yeah.
You just have to do your job. And that's great as well. If anybody who's seen True Blue or the Oxford-Cambridge Boat Race,
Sure.
a book written by Daniel Topolsky, you know, you can have a mutiny in a crew that's not friends, but they are unified by that passion to meet a goal, meet an aim.
Yeah.
And I love that about rowing. You know, I loved it from 11 years old to guys in their 90s and a lady called Nina Padwick at our boat club next door who is in her early 90s now.
Right.
And that, whenever I have a challenge, I think of my people who've met those challenges head on and go, yeah, okay, you know, I could do this. So next stroke.
Next stroke
Are
indeed.
you ready?
Next stroke indeed,
Go.
coxswain. Right, so this
I
one
can
I've
see
not
the
been looking forward
warning
to.
on the back of the...
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so guys, we're moving on to the scorpion pepper now. Now, I have had scorpion pepper in the past on a past challenge of this, and all I can tell you is it feels almost like nettles, right? So it's
Okay.
like pinpricks all over your tongue and all over your mouth. So just to prepare you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm also going to get the question prepared as well because I am already losing track. Okay, so here we go. You ready? Let's go.
I'm actually slightly shaking now about this one. God.
Yeah, right off the bat. Okay. Oh, sorry. Just so anyone knows, that scorpion pepper is horrendous. Right, Cat. Okay. If you didn't work in the hospitality industry, and I know, God forbid, that would never happen, but if you didn't, what career path would you have taken and why? Oh no! Hold on, I've got to flip that over.
There's a spare one here. I've got my kind of clean one and my not clean one.
All right.
So when I went to university, I had the view of doing going on to do a PGCE. So I was going to be a teacher, but I got a really good job with UTEL.
Sure.
And the rest was history. But so I think I would be a teacher. I would also, the dream aspirational job would be to be an Olympic coxswain, to be to be the cox of the women's A at the Olympics.
Yeah.
That would be the kind of.
And why?
Coxswain, because I was really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
To be, that was my. Within rowing, it's a really small community, and as a coxswain, certainly 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I've had the opportunity to steer
Right.
as a guest to help them out. The Olympic rowers from Leander Club, the lightweight 8 that's competed at the World Championships, just in training, but to be able to have that opportunity to work with those people is just, you learn so much. And you learn something about the intensity of work that's required, for example.
Yeah.
About winning every stroke, and all of those things. So, yeah, that's. Sorry.
It seems to be very much part of your character. It feels like that's exactly, if we're talking about our authentic selves, that seems very central to who you are. Is not giving up, continuing to push forward. And that translates very much every time we ever talk, every time we ever speak about various things that are going on. I get that with you. So that makes actually a lot of sense. Right. No, please go on.
Well, because we, I think it's the ability to coach yourself, or for me, like I said, somebody said, how are you going to cope with this? Because I eat chicken korma. Maybe chicken tikka masala when we go for an Indian. I do like lime pickle. And how are you going to do this in an elegant way?
Sure.
I'm going to cox myself through it. I'm going to have those things that I'm saying in my head that probably you wouldn't repeat out loud. They get you through things, and that counts for so much in life.
Absolutely.
But you'd never know that you have it until you need it.
Yeah. Well articulated. I don't know if I can say half of that while I'm in this state. Okay. So, next one we have is the Naga. That's all you need to know about that one. It's a bit darker, it looks a bit thicker, and the consistency looks like hell. So, next one, guys, is Naga. And then I'll give you the question.
It's got carrots in it as well. I mean, that's...
Oh, one nice thing about all these sauces, just for anybody that wants to know, at least these 4 in the middle are all made with natural ingredients. There's no added stuff in them. They're all actually very good. I have no idea why I put this much sauce on this one. Okay, so off we go.
I can feel... I
can
smell it already.
Yeah, you can smell it. Okay. Everyone knows you for being at lots of different events and being everywhere and really busy all the time. What does Catt do when she gets home and she wants to decompress? Again, for anyone that thinks this is not real or anything of that effect, that one hit me like a ton of bricks.
You really don't want to vomit either, but it's like, God, is this flippity-doodah? Or fiddly-dee, as my wonderful mother-in-law says.
That's a way of putting it. That's a way of putting it.
Can I just keep a mouthful of milk and I'll be fine?
Give it a go.
Okay. Last 250 and your legs are absolutely burning. Like your lungs are screaming, but I can't see the other crews because they're behind us. You as a rower, you can see them and you know how close the finish is now. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. My crew can do this. I can do this.
We've got one more stroke after this. No, that's it.
Right. What do I do to relax? I have my wonderful son, daughter, and dog are just the best, you know, companions that you could possibly wish for.
Absolutely.
Walking with them, we're so fortunate to be part of a boat club, Quinton Boat Club, which is by Chiswick Bridge. So we're there every Sunday. And one of the things I love about coxing, but also one of the things I love about just being at the boat club is that it's so relaxing because you don't have anything else to think about.
Yeah.
You can just be there and chat to friends from all walks of life, from florist to plasterer to High Court judge, you know, and all different people, and I'm going to the boat club, and every chance we get going up to the Isle of Mull.
Yes, you went recently, didn't you?
Yes.
It looked beautiful. And from what you described, those types of holidays seem to be more up your street than the hot, sunny ones. So, Catt.
It sort of almost makes you sort of shake.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? I've lost all the
It's
feeling
like a
in my
fight.
top lip. So if anybody's watching, I've lost all the feeling in my top lip. And I'm trying so hard not to cry.
It's like a fight or flight sort of reaction.
It's certainly, yeah.
It's quite interesting. I know that sounds awful. Does that sound awful?
It's a good way of asking questions, I can tell you that.
It's a good way of putting you off to
Indeed.
delay the last one coming.
Indeed. So, Catt, we've made it to the last source, okay? The last question... The last question is a really nice one, actually, because it goes back to things that maybe have been said to you in your career at some point, whether that be in your professional sphere or your family, friends sphere. So I'm going to ask the question in just a moment. I'm going to take a deep breath.
Okay, let's go.
Because the last one, for anybody watching, is Carolina Reaper, okay? Now, habanero is this one. This is at 350,000 on the Scoville. This is 2.2 million, okay? That gives you an idea. So, Catt, we're in this together. Cheers. Here's to the last stroke. Let's do it.
I can see the seeds in it. It's
Okay,
like,
yeah, and also, again, why did I go with that much? Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm chewing this. Okay. For anybody watching at this stage, the guys behind the cameras are having a bit of a giggle, and Catt and I are realising how hot that last one is already. So, without further ado, Catt, here's your last question. Jesus Christ is right. What's the best piece of advice that you've been given in your career or home life, and who was it?
It actually hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I needed to chew that one for a little bit longer because that was tough. Oh, it's in the... Oh, yikes.
Oh, God. Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Good luck to whoever Catt nominates to do this next. When you're ready, Catt.
Fiddle-dee-dee.
Fiddle-dee-dee indeed.
Oh, God, that actually hurts. Like on your tongue, it's like...
Your tongue, your lips, your gums, your elbows, everything.
Oh.
Yes.
It's God, isn't that?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think my face must be the same colour as the last sauce. Oh. Okay.
Right, okay. Huh.
You can do this. We're in this together.
Be honest and faithful and true to yourself, and that's my mother. That's, like, if I was to pick one thing, she... A couple of months ago now, she was very, very ill and wrote us all letters. She was like that ill. And,
Yeah.
excuse me, this is...
It's hot, guys.
And she's always said to me, be honest and faithful and true to yourself,
Yeah.
and to bring that authenticity. And if anything ever happens, you pause. Okay, right. It's onto my lips now, and it's So, yeah.
Good.
Be honest and faithful and true to yourself. Thank you,
Good.
Mummy.
Thank you, Mummy. Right. Catt, I can almost say this. Congratulations. We've got to the end of the Edwards and Finn Hot Wing Challenge. I do have
Oh God.
one more
hot
question.
one.
But it's not got a sauce. It's not something that's going to put you through any more agony. It's a very simple question. Who are you nominating next to do the Edwards and Finn Hot Wings Challenge?
Well,
Good luck, everybody, because I know that Catt has a very vast and varied contact base.
Well, I did ask somebody this morning, and he said yes, but that was before he saw this. Mr. Regis Moran.
Okay, and for the benefit of the audience, who is Regis?
Regis Moran is Commercial Director at Criterion Hospitality.
Yes.
And the Zedwell Piccadilly and Zedwell Tottenham Court Road
Yep.
Underground are members of HotelREZ. And I've had the absolute pleasure to work with Regis and be challenged by him, which is one of the best things that we had so many meetings when pre-signing the contract to really tighten down every aspect. Oh God. Excuse me.
It's really settling in, isn't it?
It just keeps giving.
Yeah.
And yes, so Regis, this is payback time for the in-depth contract discussions. Thank you for your custom, and I hope you enjoy the chicken wings.
Regis, I will be in touch. Catt, thank you so much for taking this. I know that Christina was the one who was responsible for you having to go through this. You can thank her after this. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in to this week's episode. We hope that you've enjoyed it. It's all about bringing some comedy relief to the industry, as we always focus on driving positive change, the challenges that are going on within the industry. I'm full on crying. But this is just a bit of fun with some industry leaders, finding out a bit about them, finding something out a little bit different that you may not have heard before. And as I say, it's all down to just a bit of fun. So Regis, I will be in touch. For everybody else, please do like, subscribe, show your support for Catt, because she's done an absolutely fantastic job. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.